Well, we are here with Ian. He's one of the founders of Judas Priest. Now we're going to talk about the show Monsters of Rock, featuring Opeth. Now I want to start asking you, Ian, for the band. Judas Priest is a heavy metal band. And how do you think the evolution has been of the band through all these more than 5 decades?
Um, well, yeah, it's been evolving for the last 50 years, really, for 50, even more than that. When we started out way back in the late 60s, it wasn't called heavy metal. It was, it didn't exist back then. It was
Yeah,
heavy rock or progressive rock. And it wasn't until the late 70s, really, until someone said, oh, yes, they're a heavy metal band, and you knew what they were talking about. Um, and it was about for ourselves. It was about 1980 when everything sort of came together. It was the direction and the style of music and the image. It all gelled at around about the time of British Steel,
okay.
um, and then it was progression from there. It's yeah. It took a while really for heavy metal to be established.
Exactly, yeah. Ian, for example, there are bands of metal, symphonic metal, or heavy metal that some members go out at the beginning or at the end of their stories, but you are one of the members, founders. How do you feel to be part of this family? I think that you are a family with the other members. How do you feel to being a member, a founding member of this band? I mean, you've been through all these changes in the music, just like the digital music and physical music. How that's been?
Well, it's been great. I mean, the thing is, I've evolved as a musician along with heavy metal.
Exactly.
I've got along with that, and I love my time with Judas Priest, and I was there at the start, and all being well, I'll be there at the end as well. But it's been a great trip. It really has. All of these years, never really felt the urge to go off and do something on my own. I've always been more than happy to do Judas Priest make music, and I've put all my time into that. Um, and like I say, for the years I've got left, it'll be with Judas Priest.
Excellent. Now, Ian, I know that there are a lot myths around heavy metal musicians. You know, like there's a run of parties and excesses and something like stuff like that. But I know that, for example, one musician is from Mark Jansen from Epica. He's doing a lot of yoga for preparing for a tour. How do you prepare for being on a tour and a worldwide?
Oh, these days, it's doing your best to remember the songs.
Yeah,
there's,
exactly.
there's,
That's important.
there's nothing special really. We all live in different countries these days. I mean, three of the
Yeah.
guys they're living in America. Andy and myself and Glenn are still living in Britain, and we're our own people when we're not working. But when we get together, I mean, personally, I'll do a couple of weeks rehearsals on my own, just in front of my own computer upstairs, and run through the songs that we're going to play and polish all my parts up, and get the calluses back on your fingers as well, because they go soft when you don't play. Um, and then that's all I do really. There's nothing special I do. There's no routine or anything. I suppose I don't need it really after all these years. Well, I say a little prayer every now and again, but other than that, nothing.
Now, you will be here in Mexico very soon in May. So I think that you know that Mexican people and Mexican fans are very wild and very passionate. How they can expect about your show? I mean, there will be some greatest hits or new songs or maybe some surprise.
Yeah, there'll be 3, 4 songs from the new record,
Hmm.
um, which is really unfortunately, but it's all we have time for, because
Okay.
you've only got a certain amount of time you can play, and obviously for every new song. you've got to drop potentially somebody's favorite, you know. So it gets difficult with the more material that you have. But we try and do our best to keep it like fans' favorites. Obviously, you know, we like to keep the you know the sing along songs. And with the other back catalogue songs, we try and keep them familiar, so everyone knows the songs. And then the three or four new ones, you know, and we do our best to get a good blend of those three things.
Okay.
And I think we've done well. We've been playing pretty much this set for a year now, because we started about this time last year, actually, a little bit early in February. So it's well played in, and obviously the production goes along with the songs as well. You know, it will be typical Priest things, lots of sound, lots of lights, things that move around, the motorcycle, what have you. You know, the big screens at the back. It'll be typical Priest mega show. And yeah, that's what we're bringing to Mexico, and we're looking forward to doing that.
Excellent. We are here. We are very happy to see you. And in this tour, you'll be sharing the stage with Opeth, with another band. I know that you're going to be in the same stage, but what do you think about these collaborations about bands? I think personally that before there wasn't a lot of duets or collaborations between heavy metal bands, but nowadays I think that in the music around the world, there are a lot of collaborations. You know, in metal, classic, pop, a lot. What do you think about these collaborations and how was to work with Opeth?
With Opeth, well, yeah, they're an up and coming band, aren't they? You know, they've been around a while, I suppose now, but they're all part of the evolution. They're part of the process. It marches on, doesn't it? And they'll be going probably many years after we had to stop. You know, and it's a different style of metal, and like I say, they're evolving. They're still evolving. As a genre, metal is still evolving. There'll always be room for the more classic acts like ourselves, Iron Maiden, Deep Purple, what have you, you know. But it evolves all the same, and you'll get the newer up and coming acts coming through with a different style of heavy metal. It's a bit like jazz music, you know. You get traditional jazz, you'll get the old sort of Chicago jazz and what have you, and right up to modern jazz and to the John McLaughlins of the world and things like that. It's the same sort of process, you know. It's all sort of heavy metal, but different aspects of the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
And Opeth are just a different facet of heavy metal, and like I say, it's great collaborating with it because you see, Opeth will bring people in that wouldn't necessarily come to see our show, and vice versa. You see, so you get to play to each other's audiences, which is always a bonus. You know, you're playing to people that you wouldn't see otherwise. So yeah, it's great. It's great.
Excellent. Now, finally, I want to ask you, Ian, that two things about Mexico. That first, do you know some words in Spanish, or would you like to record something in Spanish? Or, and the other one is, do you like to? I know that there are a lot of bands like Therion, that is a symphonic metal band, that they have a recording two lives album from Mexico, and the other band is Lacrimosa, is one goth metal. Would you like the Judas Priest to recording something live from Mexico, or maybe could be?
Maybe but we'll see. I mean, it's just easy to do these days. And we take recording equipment with us all the time, you know. And I think most of the nights are recorded. So you never
Okay.
know. If you do a live album, at least part of it might be from Mexico.
Excellent.
So we'll see where it leads, you know. But we've been doing that now for quite a few years. It's just good for posterity. We don't keep it all, obviously. You know, you can't keep it all. But yeah, we record most shows.
Excellent. We will have to wait and see. And do you know some Spanish words or no?
Oh, mi español es muy malo, muy poco, muy malo.
No, es
Um,
muy bueno. Excelente.
I don't know
Excellent.
very much. I'm lazy when it comes to that. The trouble is, speaking English, doesn't matter where you go, you always find someone like yourself who speaks English, you know, and we tend to get lazy ourselves, the Americans, the Canadians, Australians, they're all the same. We're all the same, you know. We're lazy when it comes to learning other languages. So,
Well, your Spanish is perfect, and when were in the stage, you're going to say "Buenas noches, ¿cómo están?" With
oh,
that,
see,
is excellent.
yes,
So, Ian,
see,
thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. I know that you will be a great success here in Mexico in the Arena Ciudad de Mexico in May. So we will see you very soon.
Osvaldo, it's been a pleasure. Okay, we'll see you in a few weeks. Yeah.
Pleasure is mine. Of course. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Be
Have a good
safe.
day.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.